Nurses, I had an opportunity to chat with a nurse who is a lawyer about ways to protect your license. So let's go through what she said. I think this is important given the recent criminal convictions of various nurses. So let's chat about some things. First, it's very important that you have liability insurance, but not all liability insurance is created equal. First of all, though, your hospital may tell you we have insurance and that covers you if something were to happen. But what if something were to happen and your version of the events does not line up with the hospital's? Let's say a medication error happens and it's because the wrong medication was ordered, but the doctor made the incorrect decision. You didn't know that that was the wrong thing and you gave the medication per orders. What if the doctor's version of events is, I never ordered that medication? You know, whose version of events would it be most advantageous for the hospital to go with? So important to have your own coverage, regardless of what your hospital says. So that was definitely a big take-home point that she stated. Next, not all liability insurance policies are created equal for nurses. So a lot of them will have something called that will cover defense in like civil lawsuits, which is the majority of like malpractice issues in a hospital would go to like the civil setting. A lot of them don't cover criminal, and also a lot of them, other than a few very specific policies, don't cover professional defense litigation or coverage. So that means, like, okay, like with Redonda Vaughn, right? She had two hearings that she had to do. She had to do the one that was her criminal trial, but then she also had to have a hearing with the the State Board of Nursing. And then that was a disciplinary process as well that she needed legal representation with, and she actually utilized her criminal attorney for, which when talking to this lawyer, she was like, that's not appropriate. Like, that's having, law has specialties like medicine does. That's having someone in a different specialty doing very important work in something that's not their specialty. So if you were to be in front of a nursing board, you really need to have a lawyer, legal representation, and representation that has experience dealing with professional boards of regulation. So very important that in whatever policy you use, that you get professional defense coverage. So very important. NSO, and I'll put a thing to it on the screen, is the one that she highly recommended, that I've also heard other very experienced nurses recommend that for professional liability coverage for practicing nurses. I'll cover the rest of the things that she mentioned in a part 2 that I will put in the comments.